Hi, you are tuned into another episode of the Business in Shape with Leela podcast. I'm your host Leela, your business magical genie, an online business manager here to grant your operational wishes with systems, processes, and automation hacks that will optimize your workflows, making your coaching business more efficient and saving you hours of time you spend inside your business. Hello. Welcome back to Business in Shape with Leela podcast. So, today we are getting into one of the topics that is very close to my heart launches. So, if you're following me on Instagram, you already know that I have recently niched down my business from online business manager to launch strategist and implementer. I think instead of saying niche down, I should say that my services are more targeted towards launches instead of the whole business management. And why I did this switch and then what made me to take this decision, I think that's for another day. And I will do a dedicated episode on that very soon. But for now, in this episode, let's kick things off by answering a fundamental question: what exactly is a launch? Since I changed my services towards launches more, I am getting this question a lot on my Instagram DMs asking what is a launch and then what it involves and then what are the things that will be part of the launch, and what services I'm offering as part of this launch. Now, if you're someone who is a seasoned coach and you're in the business from quite some time, you might think, Leela, we all know what a launch is. But let me tell you, in my experience working with various online coaches, I have realized that launch can mean different things to different people. So that is why I thought I will break it down in this episode to make it simpler for everyone. So, in simple terms, a launch is simply the official start of or introduction of something new. It's like a pressing that go button on a project or idea you have been working on. So, for online coaches, this could be many things. So, let me give you some examples. So, number one example will be obviously a new course launch. Let's say you are a fitness coach who has been teaching one on one sessions so far, and you decide to create an online course called 30 Days to a Stronger You or 30 Days to a Fitter You. So, your launch would be the period when you introduce this course to the world, start taking sign-ups, and begin the first round of classes. And this also might involve creating a landing page for your course, sending out emails to your list, and posting about it on social media, getting on the live calls and talking about it, or maybe even hosting a live webinar to answer the questions and generate the excitement towards this course. Now, another example could be a coaching program launch. So, let's say you're a business coach introducing a new group coaching program, and your launch might involve a series of live webinars and email campaigns and social media posts to attract your first group of participants. So, obviously, you might start by teaching the program a few weeks in advance and then open the application, conduct the interviews with potential clients, and finally kick off the program with a welcome call. And another example, I'm sure you would have not think of it, is a podcast launch. So if you're starting a new podcast, like I did with this one, the launch would include activities like releasing your first few episodes, promoting them on social media, and maybe even hosting a virtual launch party for your listeners. I thought of doing virtual launch party, but I couldn't do it because of my schedule back then. So this also could involve reaching out to other podcasters for cross promotion and submitting your podcast to various directories and perhaps offering a giveaway to your first batch of subscribers. And another common example could be membership site launch. So for a life coach starting a membership site with monthly content and community features, the launch could involve a promotional period when you offer founding member rates or special bonuses for the first set of the audience inside the membership. So you might also start by giving your email list a little sneak peek of the membership portal and host a series of free workshops to showcase the type of the content members will receive inside the membership and also even offer a low cost trial period. So the last example I can think of as part of the launches for coaches is a new service launch. So let's say you're a nutrition coach and you're adding a new service like a personalized meal planning service. Now your launch might be as simple as announcing it to your email list and or Instagram audience or any existing clients then opening up your calendar for bookings. Or you could also create a special offer for the first 3 clients or first 5 clients, or do a beta testing round and share the testimonials from that beta testers and host a Q&A session to address any questions about this particular new service. All this will be part of the new launch. Now, it is important to understand that launches can be big or small. In my 4 years of experience working with coaches, I see that some coaches go all out with elaborated marketing campaigns, while some of them keep it very low key. The size and the style of your launch mostly depending on your goals and resources, and of course, the time. Now, let's talk about goals for a moment. So, before you determine what type of launch is right for you, you first need to establish what is your goal for your launch. For example, is it a certain revenue? Is that is your goal? Because if that is your goal, it is going to determine how large your launch needs to be. Or is it to bring systems and processes into your business and to streamline your process? Or is it to improve your customer experience? Your goal could be like reaching a specific number of signups, or it can be hitting a certain revenue target, or just creating awareness of your brand, like you're creating a buzz around it. Or it could be just growing your email list. And sometimes it could be just getting testimonials and case studies for future marketing. That is where the beta launches comes into the picture. So the type of the launch that is right for you will solely depend on these goals. So it is very important for you to figure out what is your goal for this launch. Now, let me share a real example of the client I worked with. Her name is Sarah, and she's a mindful coach I worked with. She was launching her first online course back in 2021. Yeah, 2021. And her goal was to get 50 students for the first round. She was already providing one-to-one services, and she had good amount of the audience on her socials. And now, with this group program, the online course, she wanted to get 50 students in the first batch. So what we did was we planned 3 to 4 week launch, which included like a series of 3 meditation sessions on Instagram Live. That is the first thing that we have done. And then next thing, what we offered was we offered a PDF guide on 5 mindful techniques for busy professionals, because that is the audience she is targeting. So that is where we created our freebie. And then we sent a couple of email campaigns to all her existing email list and subscribers, and also offered a special early bird offer for the first 20 signups. So by the end of the launch, Sarah had not only reached her goal of 50 students, but she also grown her email list by 30% from where she was. So this real-time example shows that the launch doesn't have to be overly complicated always. The key here is to clearly communicate your new offering and create some excitement around it. So let's start talking about what are the key elements that makes a launch successful. These are all from my experience of handling 30 to 40 plus launches in this from past 3 to 4 years. So let's get into it. The first one, which I have clearly observed, is clear communication. Your audience should understand exactly what you are offering and why it is valuable to them and why they need it at this point of time. So you need to be clear about it, and then you have to start communicating it very clearly in all the socials, be it Instagram posts, be it stories, be it emails, anywhere, whatever the live calls you are scheduling, you are hosting webinars, whatever it is, it has to be clearly communicated to them. And the second thing, which makes launch very successful, is building up the excitement. See, a good launch creates anticipation. So this could be through many things like teasers or countdowns or a sneak peek into the program, or giving a little bit of trial period if it is a membership or something like that. So when you create the excitement, that will create buzz around, and then people will start talking about it. And of course, the next one is valuable content. So when you are offering a freebie, the most common mistake I see is your freebies are very vague. those things can be easily found in website, or now with AI you will be easily able to get the same content from AI also. So what you have to really focus on is the value that you are providing for free in your freebies. It could be anything. It could be anything from PDF to mini course, whatever it is. It first thing is it has to be related to your offer, your main offer, whatever it is group program or membership or whatever you're doing, whatever you're going to launch, it has to be related to that. And the second thing is it has to be super value packed. It's like people should start thinking like, oh my God. So in freebie itself, she had given so much of value. And imagine if I get into her paid program, the value or the knowledge that I'm going to learn from her is going to be insane. That is the thing you need to focus on. So that will build the trust and also showcases your expertise basically. And the next key element for the launch is call to action, obviously. So you have to be very clear about what you want your audience to do. So every post, every email, every content you are putting out there, be it podcast episode, be it email, be it Instagram post, whatever it is, the call to action to be very clear. Are you asking them to sign up, or are you asking them to make a purchase, or are you asking them to join a wait list? It can be anything, but it has to be very clear, right? And the next thing is sense of urgency. This is something that I have seen, which always worked with my clients. And it's like the limited time offers basically, or bonuses, like bonuses are expiring in 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever it is. That urgency, that will encourage people to take action. And the last thing I can think of is community engagement. So you have to involve your audience in the whole process of your launch. This can be through multiple ways. It could be through Q&A sessions, or it could be through planning some challenges, or it can be through your stories, Instagram stories, like polls, quizzes, whatever it is. You have to focus on creating engagement and involving your audience in each and every step of your launch process. That is another key element to make your launch successful. So remember, a launch is more than just a single announcement. So it's a series. It's a series of coordinated actions that are planned to maximize the impact of your new offering. So here are some more tips from my side, which worked for me and my clients, so that you can keep in mind for your upcoming launch or your next launch. The number one tip is know your audience. There is no alternative to it, and there is no escape from this. You have to understand what your ideal clients need from you and how your new offering is going to help them. This has to be very clear from what place you are taking them to what place and how. So this has to be very clear in your head first of all, and this will, because this is going to be the anchor for your messaging, and this is going to guide your marketing strategies. So that is the first and foremost important tip I want to give you when it comes to launches. The next tip is very important again, planning. You have to plan ahead. You have to give yourself enough time to prepare your content, to prepare your uh, curriculum, to prepare your systems. Basically, you have to set up all the systems. If you are including funnels into picture, like evergreen funnels or application funnels, you have to prepare all of them, and also to build the anticipation. You need time for all of this. You have to give enough time. So rushing a launch most of the times leads to stress, first thing, and also missed opportunities. You may end up finishing your launch with very few signups and just 1-2 signups inside your programs. So make sure you're giving enough time, and then you're actually doing planning for the whole launch from the day one till the doors are closing for the signups. Or maybe I should say that till the first welcome call. That is what. At least have a basic plan. You don't have to go too detailed. If you don't have the help, it may feel overwhelmed. But what I'm trying to say here is you need to have a basic plan of your whole launch so that you will be having enough time to do all the things and will not miss anything. And obviously, you will not get stressed. You will not lose your sleep. And the next step would be being authentic. Your launch should reflect your personality and coaching style. See, and with the resources that we have out there now, everyone is there. There are so many life coaches, there are so many fitness coaches, there are so many business coaches. But what makes you is you. So it has to reflect your personality. It has to reflect your coaching style. So don't feel pressure to do things that don't feel genuine to you, and don't do the things just because someone else have done and then you have seen them succeeded in their launches and signed up many more clients into their programs. That doesn't mean that it will work for you also. So your audience will appreciate your authenticity, not the other person's copy style. And the next tip is, obviously we already spoke about it. It is engaging your current community, your existing community. We always, in my experience, even myself, for my clients also, what I keep saying is, hey, I have to get on in front of new eyes. I have to be visible in front of new leads. I have to increase my followers list. This is all the things that will be going in our head. But your current followers and your current email subscribers and your existing one-to-one clients or the other group program clients are the biggest supporters for you during your launch. So don't forget to leverage those relationships. Talk to them and see if they can talk about your new launch and the new offer and spread a word to their audience and all of that. So leverage the relationships. That's the best tip I can give you when it comes to community. And obviously, the next step is learning and adapting. Each launch is a learning experience. Like I said, from past 3.5 years, I have worked almost like 35 to 36 launches with all the retainer clients that I have worked with. But every launch is different. Though we have repeated some of the times it's a similar process, the results are different and we have experienced different learnings throughout the process. So you have to pay attention to what works well for you and what doesn't work for you. So you can improve next time and you can focus on repeating the successful patterns. Maybe a certain types of the content resonated more with your audience. For example, for one of my client who was a fitness coach, for her, it always worked when she get on a live call more than posting a reel or a carousel. Live call somehow got 1-2 signups immediately right after the live call. So there is another thing, like sometimes a particular platform drives you more signups. There is another business coach, this coach, whenever she gets on a podcast and talks about her upcoming group program or whatever offering she is going to, in the beginning of the episode, she gets more signups. And of course, this particular coach that I'm referring to, she always made sure that she has one-to-one signature program, but all others are like evergreen offers. So it's like she leaves the sign up link or purchase link in the podcast description, but she talks about it in the podcast when the content is related to the group program that she is offering. So whenever she does that, it drove more signups for her programs. So you have to understand what is working for you and what is not working so that you can use those data and statistics for your future launches. And yeah, the next one is again very important. And I see a lot of coaches are missing this, which is a follow up. Your launch doesn't end when you stop taking signups. When you close your doors, that's not the end of your launch. You have to follow up with the people who showed interest but didn't purchase. I mean, here I'm not saying that you have to push them to sign up. That's not what I'm trying to. What I'm trying to say here is getting the feedback. They might convert later, or they may provide a valuable feedback, which is going to be bomb for you, and you can understand what need to be better and what is the missing piece in your launch. And finally, the last tip I have is celebrate your success. See, launching something new is a big deal. and take time to acknowledge all the hard work that you have put in the entire launch process and celebrate your achievements, no matter how small they might seem. Even if it is one sign up, I'm sure that wouldn't be the case for you when you do the proper planning, and then when you do build up the excitement, and then when you engage with your audience and all of that. I'm sure you will definitely get more and more and more signups. But just in case, for any reason, if your signups into your programs is just one, still celebrate that one person. So, before we wrap up this episode, I want to remind you that launching is a skill. You can develop this over the time. And if even you are in the industry from quite some time, and if you're launching for the very first time some group coaching program or a course, it might feel overwhelming for you. And actually, to be honest, even after you do a couple of launches, also you still might feel overwhelming every time when you uh, launch a new offer. But it gets easier with the practice. So the first launch may be having like 100% level of overwhelming, and then it slowly builds up, and then it makes it easier. By the time of fourth or fifth launch, it may come down to 60 to 50%. So don't be afraid to start small and grow from there when it comes to your launches. And remember, I'm here to help. And if you want to connect and get more daily tips on launching, come find me on Instagram. I share content there every day and would love to hear about your launch plans that are coming up. So that's it for today's episode, and I hope this gives you a clear picture of what launches are about and inspires you to plan your next launch very soon. So in our next episode, we go deeper into the phases of launch and how to create launch strategy that fits your coaching business. So until then, keep sharing your business and happy launching.